So for 59 years, the U.S. government has held in secret a trove of documents that might explain what exactly happened on November 22nd, 1963. The CIA has pushed to keep those files secret. They are still secret, even as of yesterday. Thousands of them remain in government custody. We can't know. Why is that? Is there a benign explanation for it? Well, of course, there isn't. We spoke to someone who had accessed those documents who said that they show the CIA was directly involved in the murder of an American president. If that's not true, someone should correct us, but no one has. We heard from the intel community today, and what we heard was, whoever told you that broke the law by telling you that. But no one denied that it was true. Larry Schnapf is one of the reasons we saw what we have seen so far. He's been pushing hard for more documents. He's an adjunct professor of law at NYU, and he's assessed the documents we did get yesterday. Larry, thanks a lot for coming on. Did we learn anything new? Did you learn anything new as you assessed what they released yesterday?
Well, hi, Tucker. First, I want to set the record straight that I'm an adjunct professor at New York Law School, not NYU. I don't want anyone to pretend to think I'm being accused of being at the wrong law school. Yesterday was very disappointing, frustrating, and infuriating because essentially what we got yesterday was old wine packaged in new bottles. The 13,000 records that were released yesterday were basically records that had already been released, and there may be some less redactions. So the spin that the CIA is doing, and unfortunately the New York Times and the Washington Post have took it hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. There are still, this is a big nothing burger yesterday. And this is particularly frustrating to my group because we spent the last year pressing President Biden to do the right thing and stop this obstruction that's been going on for 59 years. When Congress passed the JFK Records Act in 1992, they said time had passed, that all records should have a presumption of disclosure, and that records should be done expeditiously. A records review board was established. They spent 4 years scouring the federal government for files. They put them in a collection in the National Archives. While they were time limited in 1998, their work remains. And nothing has been really done since 1998. So we also this year tried to get Carolyn Maloney, the chair of the Oversight Committee, to hold a hearing on why the executive branch is not complying with the Records Act. And I got to tell you, the reason I came on tonight, one of the reasons, is because you and your viewers are in a unique position. Now that the House is going to be taken over by Congress, James Comer is going to be in charge of the Oversight Committee. And I think that we have to put pressure on him to hold an oversight hearing where he will call in for public testimony the CIA, the FBI, the trustee of the RFK Family Trust that's holding records back, and NBC, who has records, assassination records, that they have refused to release to the ARB, the Assassinations Review Board.
Why, really quickly, why would NBC be sitting on documents they refused to release?
So Judge Sondheim, who was the chair of the review board, told a story last week that the review board contacted Walter Sheridan, who was the right-hand man for Robert Kennedy, and they wanted his records. He worked with Bobby Kennedy when Bobby Kennedy was Department of Justice. He also did some secret investigation by Bobby after the assassination. His records were up at the JFK library. As soon as he was asked for these records, he went up to the JFK library, grabbed them, delivered them to NBC in New York. And he had been hired by NBC in the late 60s to monitor the Jim Garrison trial, which was the impetus for the JFK movie. And NBC took possession of those records and refused to give them to the ARB. And to show you the level of obstruction in our government, the ARB, the review board, prepared a subpoena to serve on NBC, and they refused to. The Department of Justice refused to serve it.
It's all beyond belief. And the more details you learn, the more shocking it is. Professor, I appreciate your work on this and for coming on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.